you never get stuck on the end of somebody who's just like popping with jabs and they're just hanging at range and you never quite know when that 2 is going to come in and you're just trying not to die. Let's start working on actually changing range, getting in and trying to create some offense. I'm Zach, I'm with Discovery Martial Arts, this is Class Notes. So today what we're going to do is we're going to play with using his jab as an opportunity to change the nature of the fight. Which is going to be one of the things I think I'd want to do if someone's coming in to attack me and is opening up with a strike like this. So let's show you guys what we're going to work up to today. That jab's coming in, we're moving inside, and we're just kind of putting hands right behind this head. We're going to smash with this headbutt. Notice I'm low, I'm driving up with my forehead, kneeing in the groin, and we're going to drive this person down and come to this little ground out position here. So let's go through that slightly different angle. Same punches coming in. Whoa, God, yeah. Boom, boom. Oh, straddling through, covering this guy. And maybe there's opportunities to escape or continue to attack in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my hands up for a little bit of cover and maybe get a hand up into his face for just a second. Here, where if he wanted to throw that cross, where he had really easy access to that, I really don't want to find out what's behind door number 1. So he's coming with door number 1. I'm kind of moving in and just kind of getting hands up. This doesn't look particularly martial arty. But if we were to go super slow, there's this little bit of a kind of a two-handed pass off. Notice we're starting in please don't hurt me stance. And this is just kind of running up into here. Now, this provides me a little bit of benefit. Kind of blocks this off a little bit. If he was carrying this out here and he was looking to throw that up over my head or over my hands, I have a little bit of cover here. As we step in with this little doggy paddle, we're going to kind of touch and sink. From here, hands coming around the back of the head. Let's rotate a little bit so everyone can kind of see. Got kind of this hook that's settling right into here. And then we're going to bring in this hand. I'm not doing this and then trying to kind of come at this from here. The problem is that there's still a lot of distance between us. He kind of still has his weapons, even though I kind of have my hands in. I'm still kind of high up. My head's exposed. And I really want to have access to all of his targets and make myself a little less targetable. If we were to both throw up a right knee at the same time, we'd both hit each other in the groin, and it's like a terrible Street Fighter 2 knockoff. We both go down, and somebody screams double KO. What I'd like us to do instead is, after we kind of hit, we've got this here, I'm going to move to a center line. See this little line coming down the mat? I'm going to line up on that. What that does here is he's squared off to me. I have my hands in. There's lots of targets here. I'm a little bit safer, and I have a very clean line. So our next step is we're going to take the top of our forehead. Since we've already lowered our hips, right, everybody?
Yes, sir.
We've lowered our hips. We're going to drive up into that to get that shot. Now, you could, honest to God, a good headbutt might be a fight ender all on its own, but we're not going to let him off the hook for right now. So, from that headbutt, he's going to want to lean back. I'm going to kind of keep myself tight to him, and I'm going to scoot in for this little knee right to the groin. That's all that this is. We're not going to stay here. We're just pausing here for a moment to make sure we have good alignment and proper technique as we're going into these strikes. I want to put ourselves in the mind of the attacker for just a moment, where I'm not punching you just to kind of poke you in the face and say neener neener. Trying to hit you in the face so I can do something else. People will oftentimes use it as a follow-up strike for something else. If they're skilled, hey, maybe they're kind of keeping you at range. Maybe this wasn't a punch, but instead it was a grab. They're trying to grab hair or grab clothing. I don't know what it's going to be. One of the things you want to be looking for is to make sure that we're not kind of throwing a junky jab, right? So when we're working on this, I'm going to be asking students who work on this to keep hands going out straight from the shoulder. They're going to be stepping forward and moving their body. They're going to be returning their punch afterwards, which is one of the things that can make this kind of difficult and tricky, is you don't have a huge timing window to sort of sit back and just kind of try to play with an arm.
It feels awkward to get my hand to the other side to start securing that like multi-grip. What advice on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mr. Adley, could I borrow for just a moment? There's this thing that you can kind of, you can never 100% count on anything, but one thing you can kind of count on is that if Adam pushes my face one way in a fight, I'm probably going to bring it back. I'm probably going to bring it back. Most people don't get hit in the face and then say, okay, great, I'm going to fight from here. They're going to get hit and they're going to try to turn in and they're going to try to get messy and they're going to try to come back in at you if their goal is to attack you and to hurt you. So when I'm coming in for this and I've kind of got this little bit of a shot, we're kind of yeah, exactly. He's kind of pushing himself back through this. This isn't a knockout blow. We're not destroying him on this shot. You guys have seen before these sort of forearm blast ideas. We're not really doing that as much as just going, oh my God, just kind of getting hands up. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of moving with him as I sink. That's what puts this hand in position for me. If I am over here and trying to say, okay, great, that will be hard to do at fight pace. So I think that's a good problem to bring up. Ooh, I'm kind of moving over here. You can almost feel like, what if this was messy and I was just trying to mong onto him here a little bit so that way he just stops hitting me. And people do that instinctually in fights. You'll see videos of it if you look around. Let's close this for now with the asterisk at the bottom that, hey, there's a lot of other stuff that could happen from here. If I have Mr. Adam again, and we're just going to kind of, boom, sort of skip forward ahead. I've kept my right side forward. I'm going to replace my right leg with my left leg, which gives me that knee. What I don't want to do is this, where he sees it coming from a million miles away. What happens is when people kind of have a sudden threat at their groin, they tend to bend over. Whether or not I hit him, which we'll hit him, but thank you very much. Boom. Whether or not we hit them, there's generally a little bit of a reflex for people to protect their groin. From there, we're gonna stay low. We're gonna hold them tight to us. All I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna kind of pull him toward my right shoulder, and I'm gonna sink, and I'm gonna rotate back into my left. As we sink, we're holding onto this head. This brings my partner down fairly safely for the purposes of right now. We'll just start right from here. Got our headbutt, which tends to kind of push someone's head back for a second, opens up this groin. Great. Pulling them into my right shoulder, backing up and turning counterclockwise, sinking. At any point, if we let go, he falls away. I should be in control of my balance. Something I want to avoid for the purposes of right now is I'm not trying to kind of throw this guy off of me or lean over and throw my own defense to the wind. I want to stay tight, in control of this, and end up here for right now. Where that goes from there it depends on your objectives. Am I just trying to get home safe, or do I need to shut this guy down? What's going on? We don't know yet. Just a couple minor notes. When we're being kind, I'm going to start off in headbutt position. When we're being kind, oftentimes we're doing this fast and we have this knee, and then people will kind of put their foot down, make sure their partner's fine, and then go for the next step. What I want us to think about for the last couple minutes that we're working on this is, as the knee comes down, I'm already moving. I don't want to really lose that time, so to speak, where I'm kind of in front of somebody, because if I'm working Mr. Arden, and I'll tell you guys what he's going to do, he's going to tackle me. If I need him in the groin and I'm kind of standing here, God, I'm getting double legged, and now I have to defend myself on the ground, and I don't really want to have to deal with that. So, knee, as we drop, we turn, okay?